Good day, viewers around the world. This is Mark Godwin here. Beautiful Monday evening, and we're back with our program, the weekly program, Between the Lines. Between the Lines is News Echoes Monday program. We do to keep our audience abreast with situations, occurrences, also updates that happen during the weekend. So my name is Mark Godwin Iwejuwa, and I'm here with my people, my coordinators. Right in Lagos, Nigeria is Olayinka Raji. Rinka, how are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well, thank you.
Very well, thank you. Yinka, a lot of things happened during the weekend. So
Yes.
it's good we keep our people updated on that. And first of all, I hope Nigeria is calm. People are not agitated over the AFCON loss. People are not worried or it's committing suicide. We had how people were dying last time out of anxiety and um,
Mm.
uh, heart failure and all that. What's happening? How is it like? First of all, before we go into the news.
Nigerians are really, really realistic people.
Okay.
We all realize that, yes, we got to the finals, maybe by a stroke of good luck, but we all know during the 90 minutes of play, especially the first 45 minutes of play for the finals, that
Mhm.
no, we are playing with a better team. We are playing against a
Mm,
better team. So
mm.
the loss was not even felt as a loss.
Oh, the loss was not even felt. Yeah,
It
go
was not
ahead.
felt as a loss.
Hmm.
The better team won, and
Okay.
we are all very happy about that.
The
The better
better
team won.
team won, and we're all very happy
Yes.
about that. These are
Yes.
very
So we are very
sincere,
happy.
truthful words. Um, Yinka, Olayinka, these
Plain and
are
simple. Yes.
plain and simple. Plain and simple.
Mm.
The guys outplayed us. They were real good. Ivorians came from the
Clearly.
back and played
Yes.
good game, matured game,
Yes.
very pleasant,
Yes.
entertaining game, and
Yes.
everybody's happy. I mean, there's nothing like
Even their
Ojoro.
management,
We use that word,
of their
Ojoro.
team.
Hmm.
Yes. Even their management of their team. You know, their main coach was sacked during the course of
Yes, yes, we had that.
of the competition.
Correct.
Yes.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, we kept our main coach even when we knew that he wasn't actually doing very, very well.
Okay. All right,
So
Yinka,
we were very
let's
proactive.
go. Let's go into the news, Yinka. Thank you very much. It's just to know
Okay.
how it is
Okay.
there with you. Viewers, you're
Okay.
tuned
That's
into
okay.
Between the Lines, our global audience. We hope you're there today, the 5th of the 12th of February 2024. We're here to give our updates. Ivory Coast, that beautiful country in Africa, have emerged Africa's champion. Um, it's more like a fairy tale story, and their victory over Nigeria, 2-1 over Nigeria in yesterday's AFCON finals. So Ivory Coast, the English call it Ivory Coast, the French call it Côte d'Ivoire, emerged African champion. Um, it was a beautiful game. They are the hosts, and they came from behind, and did a
Mm.
lot of surprise. The man that did this major surprise is a player called Sebastian Haller. He gave that second goal just at the 81 minutes of the match. So the host country has pulled through. We know what went on with them and this AFCON. They were actually defeated. They were defeated. I think it was Equatorial Guinea that smacked them down 4-0 at that first group stage match. And they moved on somehow and had a 1-0 victory over Congo, and moved on again and had another victory. And somehow it brought them to the quarterfinal, and they found themselves in the final. So, but in any way, we want to say that the Super Eagles did their best. They were the team's favorite in that whole tournament. And our president Tinubu said he commends them. He said they were very resilient, and they pulled up their best. So let me come to you, Raji. Give us what's your view on that whole match? Did you watch the whole match? What's your view on that, Raji?
You know, I love myself so much, so I don't watch live matches. I love myself too much. I rather be putting my ears to the door to hear when there are shouts of goal, and then I'll ask who scored, and whoever scored, well, I roll with it. But meanwhile, I didn't see 10 minutes of the match.
Okay. So yeah, well, for your good health, it's okay. But Raji, let me say this: if not for the human factor of anxiety and anxiousness and all that, it was a beautiful match. You could see that this year's AFCON actually was supposed to have been played last year, 2023, but they said the weather wasn't too favorable that time. It was really very hot, and they brought it to this time. This year's AFCON, I've been following the AFCON matches in previous years. This year's AFCON was very professional, clean, good game, no much rough African style football. You know, it was real professional. They Everybody was playing clean, beautiful game, entertaining game. You know, so yes, no, people can have anxiety, but it wasn't a game that could really cause much of us
You know
anxiety.
the surprise that you know the main surprise that I got.
Yes. Tell
You know
me.
my main surprises were
Hmm.
the Equatorial Guinea team.
Yes, I
Yes,
can hear you.
my surprise team for
Hmm.
that competition was the
Was the
Equatorial
Equatorial
Guinea.
Guinea. Okay.
Yes, how they walloped Ivory Coast 4-0 or some
Yes, yes.
wicked
4-0.
numbers.
Yes.
Yes,
4-0.
really surprising. They came
And
out.
still they didn't make it through.
They didn't make it,
Yes.
unfortunately. So
Unfortunately.
they showed some serious surprises.
Yes. Serious surprises. Now, there's something to observe there too. The match, the Super Eagles had some great support from our politicians. There were governors there, there were ministers, and the vice president, Shetima, was there. So, how do you see
Yeah.
that when this noble presence is in a match? I mean, that should have prepped them up, don't you think so?
How? How is that?
I
I think
mean,
the
if I
players.
have my father, for example, watching me do something, I'll probably
Yeah,
want to do it very well and
but
do it.
you can't perform beyond your capacity or your capability,
Okay.
regardless. Even if God is supporting you, you can't
Mhm.
perform beyond your capacity or capability.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I saw their presence there as a bloody waste. In fact, I was surprised when Tinubu intentioned to go before. So what is he going to look for
Yes, and thank God he didn't go.
at AFCON?
But
Now the president
somebody's
decided to go.
somebody's presence here matters to between the lines. Viewers, joining us in faraway London, UK is Fiona.
Hi,
Fiona, it's
good
good to
evening,
see you.
gentlemen.
Fiona, welcome back. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, Fiona, we're chatting. It's been fun talking about the just concluded AFCON tournament.
Whoa.
I know you two said you don't want this problem of ball, so you were keeping your heads away. You wanted to just know the scores. But what I observed, like I just told Raji, is I followed past AFCON matches, and this particular one was beautiful. This was more professional. It was neat. It was played well. They played the all participants they did their best. I mean, and they played very professional. You know, it wasn't like that normal African match we used to have where elbows and quacking and
Or,
hitting people.
when you miss the ball,
You
you
don't
don't
miss the
miss the
leg.
leg.
You know that had that phenomenon. You miss the ball, but don't miss the leg, and that means that leg will be broken. But Fiona, what's your summary on that whole game? I mean,
I
it
mean,
was
I think first and foremost, I have to congratulate the winners, of course, because I mean that's the sports person-like thing to do. So congratulations to the winners. I will, as a Nigerian, of course, I have to really say a big congratulations to the Super Eagles. I mean, in spite of and despite our situation, for them to have been able to get themselves together and perform at such a high level to such a high standard and to get to the finals. I mean, I don't think it's something that we can understate. So very well done to them. And commiserations to all my fellow Nigerians who I know were supporting them yesterday night. I mean, it was fever pitch right here in the United Kingdom. Everybody was, finding places to go and watch them. Nobody wanted to watch the match alone. People were going to bars. People were having like get-togethers in their house. So it was actually quite a nice feeling, yesterday night. So I mean, well done for them for even getting the community together like that. So yes, so yeah, so that's how it was. Yeah.
nice. That's beautiful. Yes, it was a moment to hang out with friends and be with some football fans. One thing with Nigeria is this: most times a lot of people don't follow matches, but when it comes to Nigeria playing ball, being in the tournament, everybody gets interested.
That's
Everybody
right.
becomes a football fan.
There,
Absolutely.
there
Yes,
was
I,
yes.
there was
I will say
probably
I will say one thing as well that
Mhm.
we talk about all the different things we hear about Nigeria. When it
Yeah.
comes to football, we're totally united. We are completely
Mm.
united. We don't see anything other than we want to win. So that's it. So it had a really good feel good factor. So it was a good time. In spite of the fact we lost, it was okay. And for me, of course, as you know, after the Grammy performance last week, of course, I was delighted that we were able to knock South Africa out when we did so. So for me, as long as they didn't win, Shami, I'm happy.
That's been very
there were
patriotic to the core.
there
Great,
were
great.
huge there
Beautiful.
were huge
But in
there were
all of this, yeah, Raji, go ahead. You want to say something?
there
Go
were
ahead.
huge viewing centers all over Lagos. I went
Mm.
to a viewing center. There was probably 100, 100 each TV with huge speakers and a whole stadium of people watching the match
Mm.
Incredible.
just down the road from here in Opebi. It was
Wow.
festival time.
Amazing.
Wow.
Amazing.
I, I,
Amazing.
Nice.
I wish we had won. Then,
Mm.
I'm well. If we had won, I wouldn't have had any sleep the whole of the night that
Ah.
night.
No, but it's all in the good spirit.
Because there will be
Even the
celebration.
Yes, even the South
Yes, come on.
African thing and Cameroon and all these, we're all still one beautiful continent of black people,
Yes,
you know. And these things show
happy.
how much we are also connected. You begin to see that,
Yes, yes.
yes, that passion for what we do, who we are, and what it brings on. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Viewers are listening,
We
watching.
are all one people. Hmm.
Yeah, we're all one pieces. Viewers, thank you for tuning in. Between the lines, our program we run Monday evenings for our global audience. Guys, apart from the football match that got everybody so excited, a sad thing happened in Nigeria. Um, not really in Nigeria, but it's our Nigerian son, a banker. He's known to be a top banker, and he has done pretty well for in the banking sector. Uh, Passed on in a very tragic way, and that's the top banker Wigwe. Herbert Wigwe and Abimbola Ogunbanjo, the former group chairman of the Nigerian Exchange Group, they had a crash, and even Herbert's wife, Herbert's son, and these are real. I mean, it's hard to
And the
put this
sun.
together, gentlemen. Let me start with tell me, uh, Raji, how was that news? I know um, you chatted on that even in the group chat I
Yeah.
saw. Tell us.
Oh, it was a trauma. I was praying that it would be fake news.
Hmm.
I was really praying that it would be fake news. Unfortunately, I got confirmation from so many other media outlets for my prayer to be fulfilled. It is a very, very traumatic, and very sad thing to have happened last night. In fact, people are reeling from it. And to know that the chairman, the chairman, their last chairman or their first chairman, the first chairman of Access Group, Access Holdings, passed away last November, on the 23rd of November last year. That's Bode Oshukoya, who was a personal friend of mine. It was also a very, very sad thing. At the service of songs was my first time of seeing Wigwe and Ike, and they came together as a very strong family. Now, I actually envy the connections that they have in that Access family. You know, for Wigwe to have that accident, it pained me. It still pained. I'm still in shock, even though I didn't know him personally. I only saw him once at that service of songs, but I feel that loss. I feel especially
Terrible. Fiona,
including the
yes,
son.
and the son. Fiona, you
Yes.
tweeted that too, and you got it also in real time. You know, how do you feel? Do you have an account with Access Bank? Why were you following it real time like that?
I have a lot of friends in the industry,
Mhm.
and so it happened to be one of my friends who's very big in banking that actually shared the information with me and confirmed that it was true. Um, Also, Bode Oshukai happens to be my very dear friend's cousin as well. So she also had corroborated that it was actually factual information early on in proceedings. I mean, it's really the most devastating kind of news that anybody would want to ever hear it, and it's a personal trauma because you just think it could have really literally been anybody, you know. Um, I know that it's just an unfortunate chain of events, and if we start to look into Wigwe's anticipate all the things that he had put in place, all the things that he was doing in his own community. I'm very passionate about community and what we can do for our community, no matter how small. And even just the inroads he was making within his own community, the loss is just, it transcends banking, it transcends everything. It's a complete loss to mankind and humanity. I just, for the family left behind, because I understand that his mother is still with us. Just my complete and total sincere condolences to everybody who's been impacted in one way or another by this very, very tragic loss. I checked on social media on Saturday night, and I was quite disappointed to read some remarks by some members of society, very, very unsavory remarks. And it really makes me wonder about the psyche of people when we're talking about the death of, at the end of the day, these are people that died. So my condolences to the family and everybody who has been affected in one way or another by this tragic event on Friday night, Los Angeles time. Oh, I can't hear you, Mark.
Yes, sorry. Thank you, Fiona. Take note, we had the former group chairman also of Nigerian, yes, Abimbola Ogunbanjo, and the wife of Wigwe, and the son too.
Absolutely.
Now listen to what we're doing, gentlemen. We're doing this. We want to focus on that helicopter. You know what I did? I checked on that company that runs that helicopter service, and I found out that January this year they had a crash too. And listen to this: they had a crash in January this year. It's in Côte. Also, previously there is a case on them that the family of that the victim of that case is asking for a $75 million compensation fee. So what I found out from that aircraft, that helicopter service, is he's been known to have long and an unfortunate history of accidents. It's called Airbus Helicopter Service, SAS. Yeah, that's it. So they've had this history, and I don't know how our man probably. I know sometimes when for you to use some of these services, they do some small background check. Most times they send they send their boys, their assistant to help them get ticket, do all that. I don't know why they didn't see these signs, these things before. This service, and they said they've had series of accidents. Fiona, you and I were also talking about helicopters and crashes and all that. And I think it's something to put out to our people as they're watching, listening, and whoever will watch and listen to this. You don't just go riding on any aircraft just because it flies. There are companies that are having issues. Some of these aircraft are old aircraft that just remodeled. Some of these aircraft are also with faults. So a little of background check before you use some of these services might be wise. Fiona?
I think
the technical issue. The technical issue that helicopter had was that the fire.
There. Go ahead, Fiona. I think network lost him.
Okay, I think it's back.
It has the propensity to burst into flames, and that at every crash, it has burst into flames. And when there's a fire after a crash, survival is also very, very limited, and even rescue is impacted. So that was a technical fault that has been on that Airbus plane, Airbus helicopter.
Thank you very much. Oh, yes. So while we're talking on this helicopter issue, while we're focused on this, let's have somebody that is also good at giving analysis on such issues. Dr. Godwin Ibe from Moscow, Russia. Dr. Godwin, how are you? It's good to have you here.
I'm good. Thank you, Legend. Thank you, viewers, for tuning in. Thanks for having me once again.
Nice. Yes. Congratulations on coming second with the AFCON match. Second position is still noble. It's still a good thing. I mean, a lot of people want to be second.
Consolatory enough.
Yes, consolatory enough. Thank you. Okay. We are putting our satellite on this crash that happened to our brothers. One of us, the Nigerian, Herbert Wigwe, and we're talking on the helicopter now. Fiona, you were going to say something.
I mean, I wasn't actually going to speak about the whole thing. I mean, I think I was just going to join you in the conversation about the idea of just getting in a craft because it flies. I think, I mean, I personally, I have a complete, it's not a phobia, but I'm very, very anti. The smaller the craft, the more against it I am. And when I was really young, back in very young, back in the 70s, the British Caledonian Airline used to have a helicopter flight between two airports in London. So when we used to arrive from Lagos, we used to take a helicopter, and it was one of the most traumatic experiences in my life. The idea of just doing it I just can't imagine, So, but whatever the case may be, we've lost some great people. We've lost pretty much part of
Kobe Bryant.
So yeah, exactly. So so just my condolences, really. It's okay for us to searchlight on the company, and it's unfortunate that they don't have a good track record, but unfortunately, we are now where we are. So
now listen to Dr. Godwin. You're coming in now. Listen to two of the tragedy on that aircraft, that Airbus helicopter SAS. In 2018, they had a crash and 5 people died on board. All British people that were being transported in America. And in 2019, they had a crash. A popular person with a brother, his wife, and the girlfriend about 5 of them again, boom, on that same airline service. Dr. Godwin, we're talking about Wigwe and this very tragic situation. What's your view? What's your take on this?
Yeah, my take is when I heard it, it was really at first when I heard it, something came to my mind. It will shock you guys.
Okay.
Strange. It will shock you guys.
Go
the
ahead.
first thing I thought about was, did he go to Ukraine? Because every time Russia sends a missile and it strikes and kills a lot of NATO officers that are working undercover in Ukraine, a lot of US top military officials die in plane crash or helicopter crash.
But that's in Ukraine.
That's in Ukraine because they are not officially announcing that their soldiers are fighting and paramilitary are fighting. So when, for example, Russia sends a hypersonic or destroys a bunker or releases, it receives information and an attack is made, and it's already announced in Russia like some days before that a lot of NATO officers were killed in Ukraine, immediately you get to hear news of helicopter crash, plane crash in US, and for just all sorts of things. And you hear so many Americans. I think Dr. Kassim have mentioned, like, if I'm not mistaken, we have people like Andrew Tate has mentioned. A lot of people, what's the name? This general was Colonel McGregor, yeah, Douglas McGregor. A lot of people have also tried to insinuate that I hear a lot of people who will say, like, look, people who have some conflict with the government, that look, I do not fly on helicopter. If they say I died on helicopter, they came for me. You know, so that was the first thing I thought about. Very strangely, I don't know why I had that feeling, but it's a very sad. When I got to read about that, really, he wasn't really in Ukraine, and it was really a sad incident. It was really, really sad. Also, I want to say that for the people who fly in helicopter, they're usually the wealthy people, and sometimes they are allowed to violate rules, especially weather rules. For example, what killed Kobe Bryant? Exactly, especially weather rules. So that was the second thing that came to my mind. They are when this tragedy happened to Kobe Bryant, for example, the police helicopters were not flying in the whole city at that time because of bad weather, but Kobe Bryant's helicopter were flying. So once again, can we say corruption sometimes, or can we say, the double standard for the rich, whatever you call it? And then the third thing is just pure safety management. I owe this to my dad. My dad always, even when we traveled, he would try to put me and him on a different flight, my mom and my other brother and sister on a different flight. And he says journey management. It's just journey management. We don't expect anything bad. And a lot of these people, when I hear their whole family dies in a family crash, I'm looking like, yeah, we could not, when you go on a flight, you can only pray to God, but you do not know if you arrive. So I don't think it would be wise, for indemnity purposes, to put all your family on one kind of aircraft, no matter what it is. At least journey management would say that you kind of split up. Of course, my heart goes out to his family and friends, but these are the kind of, based on my knowledge of geopolitics, safety standards, and following up with the news, these are the feelings I have concerning this case, and I hope that some people in the future will learn.
Yes. Now, what you just said is very meaningful. Beautiful take here, Godwin. Listen to this. A lot of these aircraft, yes, the best aircraft, let me say this to you now, comes from best aircraft builders are Ukrainians, and Austrians are trying to. And you do know that some of these airlines have their control center. You could have a control center could be in that situated manufacturer's location, So yes, if something goes wrong in the control center, it could affect a flight that is being used in America, in UK, in London, in Milan, in France, in Paris. Yes, these things happen. So because the control center is where a lot of these data flows, and you have so many things going on. So a little hitch in control center would affect that. So I think you're bringing up something. Go ahead. You want to add to that again?
Yeah. Just quickly, but most of the death has not have not been correlated with control center. Most of the
No,
death.
because we don't know what happens.
No.
Still,
But many of the investigation, the result of investigation that we know, yeah, we can't speak about what we don't know. But
yes.
the ones we know,
We,
one, bad
uh,
weather. Number
uh,
two, military strike by top military officials undercover fighting in a war zone.
mhm.
Number three, hiding defect during releasing of new
Operations.
aircraft. For example, we've seen Boeing did that, right? And they had to ground a plane after they launched it, and then they found some defect that the top money were trying to hide. These are the three main this apart, I mentioned bad weather, right? These are
Yes.
the three main causes of death. Yeah, if it's not a war zone, was not hit by a missile or something like this. The others are plausible, quite all right, don't deny, but they are not the major causes.
They're not
So
a major.
until at least
Yeah, well,
we have to hit it.
the investigation is still
Yeah.
going on. We hope to know what really killed that man. Because
Well,
also,
it was
controversy theorists. Go ahead. You want to say
it was
something?
mentioned that the weather was not quite good.
Okay.
Weather was very, very bad that evening.
I understand that one of the gentleman's PAs said he wouldn't go on the flight because of the weather, that he would rather go by road because they were actually going to watch the Super Bowl, I understand.
You see.
Yes.
So it's what I'm saying. We
Okay.
just have to call a spade, yeah.
Yes. But people insinuate things when it happens, mostly with the black people. Some people are
Yes.
saying, is it because this guy is pulling some heavy strands? I mean, opening up Access Bank in Paris looks like a big move. Opening up the branches in some parts of Africa too. So some people are saying, are they like, after him because he's trying to do this? Well, let's see. Let's wait this week and see if good, concrete investigation results will come out. Gentlemen, between the lines, it's a pity we used to run between the lines, short with 45 minutes, but at least we say some very vital things. So it's good. This one is more like a news. It just came in now. 4 killed in renewed attack on Plateau villages. 4 people have just been killed, and that same place you all know is where we had that gruesome, very gruesome, gory killing during the Christmas. So that's the same place again. 4 people have been killed. They were killed by suspected headsmen in what looks like a renewed attack on the villages of Mangun, district of Bassa, local government area of Plateau State. So this is it. And our government doesn't seem to be doing anything. Let me ask you, Yinka, why are we still slow at finding a solution to this headsmen coming to villages and killing people and going away with it?
I feel very, very sad. Feel very, very sad for the cases of Benue and Plateau. Yeah. Recently,
Mhm.
I was discussing with somebody about IDP camps. How do we still have IDP camps in the country? That uh, there, there's something that the government has to do very, very urgently, unless the government or the people of the north are complicit. The people of the north are complicit. I don't see why there should be constant attack and killing of people. It has become a daily thing, and all that we do is that we bury the dead, we protest, and the life goes on, and another killing comes in, and they don't come in beats. We hear 30 people killed, 20 people killed, the whole village sacked. It is, it is, it is. I don't even understand what is happening with our security people. Can the local people uh, form their own security to protect themselves? The local people themselves. I do not believe that if any group of aliens should attack my village in Osun State, that all of us, even those of us who are out of Erin, will mobilize to come back to school, to come back home to protect our people.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't see why that is not happening within Plateau and Benue.
Okay.
where you see people leaving their villages for marauders and checking it into IDP camps.
That's what's happening. Checking to IDP camps. And also, United Nations brought an alarm that the IDP camps have become a place of disease because it's not well taken care of. People are catching all kinds of sickness. And ladies are prone, women are prone to rape
Serious
and
sexual abuse.
assaults. Fiona, IDP camps. Imagine staying in a refugee camp in your own country. Can you imagine that?
It's beyond incredulity. It's absolutely beyond belief that that this is happening within a country, and the whole country is, everything is going along business as usual, as Honorable Raji just said. Business as usual. We talk about it. Oh, we shout, we make protests. Ooh, we bury them, and then it's repeat, play and repeat. That's what we've been doing now for years and years and years. And I don't know whether to call it apathy, or I don't even know what to call the responses. I don't know whether people have become desensitized to all these things or what. I mean, in terms of, having camps, I can't even imagine what the conditions will be like there, from sanitation, running water, to the physical assaults that you've just described. I can't imagine. I mean, the normal average Nigerian does not have electricity and water on a normal day. Then we're not talking about a camp. So I don't even want to begin to imagine what that looks or feels like. I can't even imagine. So
Wow.
That's our
Viewers, you are listening to gentlemen putting it out well between the lines. This is it. These are issues that are not addressed. People don't talk about this. We all pretend everything is all good, but the truth of the fact is, our people, countless number of Nigerians are in IDP camps. That's more like saying refugee camps. Place of shelter just to cover your head. And the crazy thing about it is, these are just tents, little tents that are made. It's not they are not structures. They're just tents patched together, and people sleep inside. This is it. This is what's happening in our country. Dr. Godwin, I don't know if you follow those stories. IDP camp, refugee camp for our people. What's your take? 1 minute.
Yes, okay. I follow those stories. It's horrible. I mean, but it's better than sleeping on the street. Even in many developed countries, I would say Russia is despite how cold Russia is, it's hard to find lots of homeless people on the street, right? And this one thing I appreciate. There was a time it was really bad, and now it's really reduced drastically. You can hardly find them on the road. I want to say that insecurity. I want to talk about insecurity. Basically, insecurity is both an acute and a chronic problem, and they are not. There's a failure to actually tackle the problem. I mean, there are things you can do in the short term, and there are things you can do in the long term. The short term is to increase security in terms of, and when I say increase, I don't just mean figuratively. I mean, like, buy the thing you need the most. For example, we saw a lot of assaults recently. There were a lack of radio equipment, lack of drones. These are cheap, effective methods you can use to provide effectiveness in storm operations and gathering intelligence. Number two, most crimes are solved post. How do you say it? Post facto. Yes, there's post factum. Let me put it this way. Yeah, after the incident has occurred, you watch the surveillance videos, you look for evidence, and then you begin to contact and to connect the dots, yes, and cross the T's. Yeah, that's how most cases are solved in advanced developed countries. So when you don't have those camera surveillance technologies, obviously you are already making yourself unable to solve a lot of criminal cases. Then the long-term thing, for this to occur, we need infrastructure like energy, we need light. These people who are doing this, they need employment. If they are gainfully employed, they won't be doing all these things. and they will consider their work and family. And then if people are living well, they will also be sources of intelligence, because if everyone does not believe that if they share intelligence information, the state is capable of protecting them from the person who they leaked information, then they will most likely not reveal those intelligence. All these people are in the community. The community knows them. They are refusing to give out the information. They are housing them. A lot of them have family members who regret what they do, but will remain quiet and not share this information until we tackle those long-term problems. Then unfortunately, this thing will continue to happen. And all this throwing, the last but not the least, is this money that the government spent on $1 billion helicopter from the United States. 1 billion helicopters. You begin to wonder whether like what kind of thinking cap is it? Like, did the cap face back, or I don't understand. Instead of buying drones, radio equipment, you're buying 1 billion on helicopter. I don't know. It's outdated in such an outdated policy.
Yeah, we do very clueless things sometimes, our government. Gentlemen, it's time up. Time up. We have to go. But we'll be back. We'll be back on Wednesday. There are other news we would have shared, but because of our time and the network has placed the time for us. But anyway, Raji, thank you for coming by. Between the lines, gentlemen. Godwin, we hope to see you more during the week for more updates. There are so many things to talk about on the international line. Biden has come into TikTok. And this was the same government that said TikTok is being used by China. So I know you like that news. I see your smile now. Godwin, I see your smile. So come on Friday and tell us about this, So that is officially declaring TikTok a beautiful, good app. So let's go ahead and use TikTok. American president is using it now. Fiona, thank you. This is it, guys. Is there anybody want to say any last word? Few minutes.
Yes.
Yes.
About security or insecurity in the same. Godwin was talking about surveillance and things. The whole world now is under Google surveillance. So you don't necessarily have to have local surveillance for you to be able to follow everything. Using simple, even from my phone, I could do Google Maps and I could map out a whole area and even follow. Google Earth would take me to a particular location. So it's not where there's a will, there's always a way. Where there's a will, there's always a way.
Thank you. But there's a little difference. There's a little difference between that what you see on Google Earth. It's not real time, and many of the information is blurred out on Google Earth. You can't use Google Earth as an evidence to solve a crime. It's not usually used. Nowhere in the world is used to solve a crime. But you can use it to have an idea, of a terrain, what is there, what is not there. But you cannot see who shot who, for example, with Google Maps.
Instead of spending $1 billion to buy a helicopter,
yes.
Wow, guys, thank you very much. Let's go out. So we'll come back on Wednesday. Come back on Friday. Thank you all very much. Have a beautiful night. Viewers, thank you for tuning in. Had some numbers here. Between the lines, SSM Monday update, and we've just done our little bets. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Yeah, God.